Okay.
Just imagine the 7th of October, and from every window in Kibbutz Be'eri and Netiva Asara and Kfar Aza,
And the envelope of Gaza.
they would have their guns,
Right.
and they'll know what to do.
Right.
Everything would have looked different, right?
What should be done with Gaza?
As I said almost 2 years ago.
Okay.
Kibush, Girush, Ityeshvut.
The Druze.
Yeah.
What should be done?
They are our allies. Once you promise to protect them, you have to do it.
What does God want from us? My Elokim, right? Like, what does God want from you right now?
Look, we had a deal. We had a covenant with God. We are His nation. We are His people. We represent God's existence in the world. And we should do certain thing according to that agreement. Okay? We should take over the land. We should build a temple, rebuild the temple. We should create a society that projects the light of God to the entire world.
All right, folks. Yishai Fleisher here. I'm in beautiful Samaria, usually in Judea, but today I went a little bit north for an important event. And I called up Moshe Feiglin, one of Israel's leading intellectuals, and I said, can I come over? Because I know you live nearby, and sit down and talk with you. And he said, yes. So we're at his house. Moshe Feiglin is, of course, the legendary founder of the Zu Artzeinu movement, which was an activist movement fighting the Oslo process. Later, he became a Knesset member and also founded the Zehut Party, which means the Identity Party. He's also the author of many books, including a brand new one about progressivism and about what Judaism has to offer to counter the progressive movement. As I said before, he's one of Israel's leading intellectuals. And so I want to ask him today questions that are big questions. All right, let's start with October the 7th. I want to ask you, Moshe Feiglin, first thing, thanks for having me over. Appreciate it. It's great to be with you. And outside here, in your nice mirpeset, your balcony. October 7th. Tell me what's gone good after October 7th, what's gone bad after October 7th, and what hasn't changed. Mm-hmm. Like, has this thing shaken us up in any way?
I can tell you that the bad and hasn't changed is on the same side. But I'm happy that you you realize that there are things that came good. I think that you'll agree with me, Yishai, that the biggest surprise, biggest wonderful surprise that we see since October 7th is the new generation of heroes. The generation of heroes, Dor Gvura, as they call it, is not just words. It is really what it is. We on our backyard grew up amazing generation of heroism, of
self-sacrifice.
I mean, this is something that beyond everything we knew until now, and we didn't know.
And it's a bit of a surprise, right? Because you would have thought that maybe this iPhone generation.
That's right. Honestly, you're calling me intellectual and so on. I do believe that I understand few things. This is something that I don't know where it came from. It's like it's like directly from heaven. It's like directly from above. You know, because I cannot understand. It's not as you said. Until previous, you looked at this generation, what the interest about. You see, we didn't used to see them as so serious and so on.
Right.
I don't know where it came from. Maybe it's simply the time of Geula, you know? It says, Ve'avdi kalev ekev ruach acheret imo. Different spirit.
Right. And Caleb, it says about him, that God says, well, my servant Caleb, he had a different spirit with him.
There's a different spirit. Suddenly a different spirit appear, okay? But when you're looking backwards, you can see how would this generation develop. Let me go with you from the top to the bottom, okay? The top, of course, is the Temple Mount. The top is the place of the Mikdash,
The temple, where the temple stood. And will stand.
And as you know, I'm going there every month, almost 30 years.
So just parenthetically, going up to the Temple Mount has been a controversial issue here in Israel. My mom, seen you there many times. She herself is a Temple Mount activist.
That's right.
And people who are connected to the Temple Mount, they're a certain kind of breed. It pulls them towards this place of holiness. It's a movement yearning for the third temple, but it was not always agreed upon. 25 years ago, it was considered, really outliers. Today, it's become a real full-fledged, full-blown movement, and you're there at least once a month, as I recall, on the 19th. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. My day become known everywhere. I go every Yud Tet, every 19th of the Hebrew month. I'm there. So I definitely have the perspective to see what the situation there. It was given after the 6-day war by Moshe Dayan and others back to the Muslim Waqf. The Zionism did not know what to do with it. It was too heavy, too big on the concept of secularism, Jewish national identity that we try to, Israelism instead of Judaism. We try to become a nation like all the nations. This whole concept of Har HaBayit, temple, was not for us. Please take it away from us. We don't want it. We didn't want this amazing gift that we got from HaKadosh Baruch Hu in just 6 days. And
from God.
From God, of course. But when you really thinking about it, this building, this temple, represent our nationality, our real nationality. Because this trying to create from Judaism a new kind of nationality that leaves God out of the picture, secular nationalism, civilian nationalism. This is not who we are. Okay, the whole concept of Judaism is the connection between physics and metaphysics. We, as the Jewish nation, are the part of the chain, chulia. How do you say chulia?
Link.
The link. We are the final link between humanity and God. This is the reason why we exist. We are the final link between humanity and God, and the place that represents that point where metaphysics meet the physics, where the soul, the spirit of God meet the body, and life comes out, is this place. And it can only be through this nation, through this holy land, through this city, through this mountain, through this building, okay? So the whole reason we exist, that God created this nation, the nation of Israel, to fix the world in the kingdom of God, the symbolized in this building. So this is who we are. Without that, we're nothing. I believe that between the two blue stripes, at the end, there'll be this image of Beit HaMikdash.
And that flag, the flag of the temple, is a more ubiquitous, we've seen it here around our roads. There are flags, flags, the symbols are part of the war here. And there's no question that you have soldiers wearing the patches with the temple, and there's this blue or purplish
I wear it
flag.
on my
uniforms,
on my suit.
Uh-huh.
And at the beginning, I just came home, so I don't have it on me, but I can show it to you. At the beginning, people said to themselves, "What, are you crazy? Politicians don't go with the image of the temple on their suit."
Right. What is it? A pin?
It's a pin.
Okay.
This temple pin.
Right.
Yes. Because you come across as an extremist. You come across as somebody who's going to be in war with the Middle East and whatever, and you're going to start war against all the Islamic world and so on. And now, it become everybody's go war. Not everybody, but many.
So is that an October 7th thing?
Yes, because they called the war
The Al-Aqsa flood.
The Al-Aqsa flood. So they understand that what the war is about, and we gave them just a stupid name with no meaning. But slowly but surely, soldiers went to Gaza, saw in every house the picture of the Temple Mount.
Oh, the Dome of the Rock.
Dome of the Rock.
Right.
And said, hey, these people have a reason why what they're fighting for, this horrible Islamo-Nazis, has a reason why they're fighting for, which is bigger than their own life. It's not just a survival war for them. There is something that is bigger of the sum of its pieces, okay, by them. What about us? And the soldiers started to go into Gaza with the patches of the temple.
Right.
And I think our leaders should go with the same
pin,
civilian patch, which is a pin on their suit, jacket. Anyhow, so I go there every month, and since the war, the process of more and more Jews are going. At the beginning, you could not even move your lips. If you would have moved your lips,
because it was not legal to pray up there. I'll never forget. You were not allowed to bring up prayer books. Today it's a little different because of the phones, but in general, today you're allowed to pray, and you're allowed to bow down, which is an amazing change. What an amazing physical change it is. Just to give an example, I remember so well that I was once with an ultra-Orthodox Jews up on the I was up on the Temple Mount with one ultra-Orthodox Jew, and he opened up his jacket, and in his jacket was stapled in the prayers, and he just looked this way. I'll never forget that. It's like a guy, selling you stolen watches.
Steal a prayer.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, exactly. He's got these prayers hidden inside. Today, thank God, that has changed. There's definitely a completely different atmosphere up there.
It's something that is hard to explain to people that are not aware of what's going on, but these Islamo-Nazi Arabs, okay, has a very sensitive spiritual feelings, okay? And they are the first one to realize the change. And I'm telling you, Yishai, something amazing happened. It used to be like going into a war zone when you went to Temple Mount at the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, every time I go, there's more Jews and Arabs. The place is totally quiet, and the feeling is that they gave up. We won the war.
Right.
I'm telling you, the good news, we already won the war there. Because that's the source of the whole thing. And if we won it over there, we already won the war everywhere else. It's just a matter of time. Okay, so I started from, you asked about the good news. The good news is we won the war.
That's good news.
Okay?
That's good news.
We still, our leadership still needs to understand that, okay? Right. Because God gives us all the gifts in the world. We could change history at the 7th or 8th or 9th of October, let's say for the first week, okay? We should annex the whole Gaza, take over the whole Gaza in the 6 day war. We did it
2 days. 2 days.
2 days.
2 days.
Okay, half a day, 2 days, doesn't matter. In very short time. We could have done it also here, but it's like prisoners that are free to go and still think that they are in the prison, you know? Right. We still think in the Oslo mentality. Right. We still think that we are occupiers in our own land. If you don't have an identity, I'm talking about our leaders, not about our soldiers. If you don't know who you are, what are you doing here? You don't understand that this is your land. God gave it to you, okay? You don't understand that the 7th of October is not only horrific, horrible thing, it's also an opportunity,
right?
Okay? To get rid of Oslo, to get rid of this Arab occupation of your land, take over, build again Gush Katif,
the Jewish communities of Gaza.
Expel your enemies over there.
Right.
Give them a whole lesson. What happened when you do things like that There'll be no Arab, any kind of sovereignty on your land. This is something that you had to do immediately in Gaza.
Right now in Hebron, in South Hebron Hills, there are sheikhs who are saying the PA is the problem, Palestinian Authority is the problem. We want to connect to Israel through Moti Kaidar's idea of the Emirates, but the bottom line is we want to be related to Israel and no longer under the PA. Now, people ask me, is this going to happen? I said the main problem is going to be with our security forces. The main problem is going to be our own Shabak is not going to like the idea of getting rid of their pals at the PA, and that's exactly what's happening right now. The Shabak is crunching down against these sheikhs, and we foresaw that was going to be exactly the problem. So here's and another way of saying that is we have a super right-wing government ostensibly, and yet not one red sign has come off, not one bit of Oslo has yet been removed.
That's right. Yishai, the old bad Oslo conscience still dictate the whole war, okay? Because we could have won the war and change. We had a chance to change the rules completely,
right,
in the Gaza front, definitely in the Lebanon front after the Beeper amazing operation. We should have taken at least and up to the Litani River and clear the place from all these villages that were Hezbollah villages, and from there they destroyed all the Jewish villages across the border, like near the border, and definitely in Iran, the third front, okay, that started as the 6-day war and more than that. God gave you that tremendous success at the beginning. Of course, we had the best pilots and the best intelligence and so on, but yet, such a result with no one little, casualty or anything that went wrong with such a complicated operation, it's a miracle. But then what do you do? Again, you make it another round, and you're starting as a war that's going to bring victory, and then the minute you have enough success, you're calling the king Trump to finish the job. Okay.
So you don't like that? You didn't like the B-2 bombings?
No. It was a terrible mistake, and I understand. And the whole three things, in the whole three fronts,
Gaza, Lebanon,
you had
Iran,
the opportunity to become a regional force, a regional empire, as they say. Okay, Imperia is Ma'atzama. What's that?
Superpower, regional superpower.
A regional superpower. Okay, and change the geopolitics of the Middle East. Okay. But in order, and how? In Gaza, as I said, in Lebanon, as I said, and in Iran, you showed the ability to eliminate the scientists. Why didn't you do the same thing with Khamenei and his gang?
What about the Qatari Hamas folks? Get rid of them.
Same thing. Why didn't you destroy their ability to pump out oil? This is 85% of the economy. Why didn't you destroy their ability to make electricity? I mean, you had the ability to bring them back to the Stone Age. Easy, and you could have finished the job with Fordow as well. I can tell you that, okay, for sure, without the Americans. But so why did you do it? Why did you just did 90% of the job, but was very, very careful not to win strategically? What's going on here? Now listen to me carefully, because it's a bit complicated to understand. It's hard to understand, but only when you understand what I'm saying now, you can really understand what's going on here. Okay. when the people of Israel started to come back to their homeland after 2,000 years of exile, Geulah, redemption, is coming. It's coming back. The Zionist movement took over and did a tremendous thing. Of course, I'm talking from a positive point of view, of course. But they tried to create, as I said before, a new kind of nationality. Instead of the ghettos in the diaspora, mentality of a community that needs to protect itself, a community that just live from one pogrom to the other, a community that has to develop good relationship with the king, so the king maybe will protect them from the Cossacks. Okay, mentality of a ghetto, of a community. Now we're going back to a different mentality of a free nation, sovereign nation in their homeland. And when we did that, we created this new nationality without God.
Okay.
Civilian nationality. We are Israel instead of Jews. We did not want to build another layer of identity, national identity on top of our Jewish identity, but instead of our Jewish identity. Okay. And it succeeded. We succeeded. For 20 years, since 48 till 1967, it worked. Why it worked? Because what gave it meaning was the Holocaust. Okay, every VIP that came to Israel, the first thing we did, we took him to Yad Vashem, right?
Right.
So it was a Zionism of existence, Zionism of survival. It's easy, you don't need to think of a positive reason for your existence. What gives you the right to expel some Arabs that lived here and create the University of Tel Aviv on their homeland, on the village of Sheikh Munis, for example.
So you say the Holocaust, and that's
so that's it.
Right.
So Yad Vashem became our
temple.
Our temple.
Right.
And the generals become the
high priest,
the priests, the Kohanim.
Right.
Okay,
right.
That was the religion of survival. Okay. All this ended in the 6-Day War. Why? Because after the 6-Day War, we won everybody. There's no more knife standing on our throat, aiming our throat. Now we are the strong guys. So now, in order to continue, you have to dig deeper to find meaning. Otherwise, everything is crumbling down. Okay? Positive meaning for your national existence. Mm-hmm. And you cannot find it outside of your Jewish identity. And because we did not transfer Zionism of existence to Zionism of a meaning, Zionism of a vision, as I say it in Hebrew, we did not transfer it mitzionut shel kiyum, letzionut shel yi'ud.
Okay, from a Zionism of survival to a Zionism of purpose.
Of purpose, yes. Slowly but surely, we lost our nationality.
Lost
our nationality. We became a community again, conscious of without noticing. You see,
what are you saying?
Without understanding it, we become a community again instead of a nation. You see, the leadership that got this challenge of the 7th of October was the leadership of a community, not of a nation.
What do you mean by community?
I'll tell you what I mean. A nation looking to win the war.
Right.
Okay? Like in the 6-Day War. We were a nation there. Much smaller now, much weaker. The army was much smaller in the 6-Day War, and the enemy was much bigger than the Hamas. Okay?
Yeah.
But our mentality was a mentality of a nation.
Okay.
Based on this civilian conscience.
The Holocaust consciousness.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, 30 years later, 50, 60 years later, 30 years after Oslo, okay, we don't have that civilian nationality anymore. We did not connect ourselves to our original faithful nationality, I would say, classic nationality, the nationality of Mount Sinai, okay? Through that. So when they attacked us on the 7th of October, all we did is what a community in the diaspora, in the ghetto, in the diaspora always did. Scream to the king to come help us against the Kazakhs. We waited for the American carrier, the Gerald Ford, to come and save us from the Hamas. While we have an army that's 100 times bigger than them.
So what you're saying is the ghetto mentality is still alive and well. Is that your thing that hasn't changed, or
not still alive and well? We created it from scratch again here in Israel. So by running away from our original identity, we met again the diaspora mentality that we ran away from,
the ghetto Jew,
and created this civilian
national identity.
Nationality. No, yes, that's right. So this is the now when you still have that kind of leadership with this kind of conscience, you cannot win wars. So you cannot win the war in Gaza. You can win the war up north, but the minute you pushing the knife from your throat, you pulling back. Look what happened. Look what happened in Tehran, in Iran. You could have won the war by yourself. You could have won the war against the Iranians and let the whole world see who is the original empire, that dominate the place from the Nile to the river, from the Euphrates to the Nile, or at least until Egypt, okay, till Sinai. I mean, the whole Holy Land that was promised to you by God. There's no other nationality here. The Sykes-Picot Agreement is crumbling down. All the other nationalities, the Syrian so-called nationality, the Iraqi so-called nationality that the French and the English created,
right,
technically in the Sykes-Picot Agreements after World War I. It's all crumbling down.
Right.
The whole Middle East going back to its original situation. The only real nationality that exists on the promised land is the Jewish nationality. You could, once you destroy Iran, really destroy and won the war by yourself against Iran, you are the superpower. Everybody's doing what you want. You dominate the whole. Yeah,
but when you have a ghetto mentality, you don't want to be that. You don't want to be that.
No, all you want to do
is be small and
you know.
You don't want to be the big boy.
Soon there's going to be election in Israel.
Yeah.
I ask you, Yishai, as somebody who lives in this country for a good few years, okay, what's going to be the ads of the Likud, the big ads,
the beepers,
the billboards,
right? The beepers.
Okay.
The Iranian threat. That's it.
I'll tell you what I mean, and I'm sure. What did it look like in the previous election?
I don't remember.
Whose pictures did you see?
Bibi?
And?
I don't remember.
Bibi and Trump.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Right.
Now, if I'm running to be the Prime Minister of Israel, okay, why should I put a picture of a foreign leader on my...
The answer to that is simple.
Yes.
I can tell you as a person who lived in America,
yes,
America is a big country.
Yes.
And Israel wants to always feel like a small country.
Right.
And small countries, when I was in Australia, I saw that Australia looks up to America. Like when you, even though it's a big physical country, but it's a small country. So this country is...
I was born here in 1962, here in Israel, in Haifa, okay? I never saw ads like that when I was a kid.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Never.
Right.
I mean...
We've gone back... Your point...
The message is, I'm the best candidate to run the community. because I have the best connection
with the
king.
with the pirates,
with the king.
Yeah,
that's
with the Tsar.
Yeah, so it's not about I won the war.
Right.
I won the war. I was able to bring the king to win it for us.
All right, so I want to ask a question.
I understand that what I'm talking about.
I understand totally.
It's amazing.
So this was going to be my second question, and this is I'm looking forward to asking you this one. I've been thinking about this for a while. Who is, and let's keep it short, who is Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu? Who is this man? Is he a tzaddik, a righteous man, whose face is going to be on our money down the line, who, yes, screwed up with the disengagement, yes, allowed Hamas to take over Gaza, yes, gave away 1,000 terrorists, but at the same time, for one Gilad Shalit, but at the same time fought this valiant war and has brought back, has had excellent relations on the diplomatic scale, gets out there in front of the world. Nobody else could do it like him. Is he a great man? Is he a weak man? Is he a ghetto Jew? Is he a hero Jew? Is he a believer? Is he a non-believer? Look, what is this thing? Because in many ways, as our sages tell us, Dor lefia parnas, parnas lefia dor, right? The generation is like the leader is like the generation.
Who makes history?
Right.
The leader of the people.
Right. There's an argument by historians about that. Yeah. So I'm asking you, who is Benjamin Netanyahu? What is this thing? Is that a good question? Is it? Is that a good question? Oh, good. I had a feeling that. Yeah.
No, and I'm not going to answer it.
Okay.
Because, you know why?
Why?
Because I don't care.
Well. That's a funny thing to say.
Explain.
You have complained about Prime Minister Netanyahu publicly for many years in different ways.
And I stopped.
Okay.
And I stopped.
Okay.
Because I realized that it's much, much deeper than the person. Mm-hmm. Okay? Take Menachem Begin, for example. Was he a positive leader or a negative leader? I think he was a great man. Okay? Menachem Begin was a great man. But he's part of the problem also.
I mean, from my perspective, he did some of the worst things that the Jewish state has ever done. So he's the original sin of Sinai.
No.
Okay.
But let me explain, okay? We're talking about good people.
Right.
Okay, not about evil people.
Right, of course.
Netanyahu is not Olmert. Netanyahu is not Yair Golan. Netanyahu is not one of those self-hatred crazy guys, okay? That's not the story here. The story here is that, as you said, he represents a mentality. And the deep problem did not start with him. Look, Yishai, this whole redemption of Am Yisrael takes time. Okay, the people of Israel coming back to their homeland after 2,000 years of exile, from all cultures, all languages, all parts of the world, west, east, all colors, and somehow this chant has to come out of the oven after a while, and melt again to a nation physically, but now come the time of spiritually back to its identity, and then back to its message to the world, to the redemption of the whole world. It doesn't happen in a second, okay? So we're coming back, and the leadership and Zionism is growing out of the Enlightenment time, the time that separated God and the geopolitic world, okay, after the French Revolution. And we're trying to create a state that will function, a nation that will function according to these concepts of the Enlightenment time, once our basic identity is not a separation of God and reality, but the connection of God and reality. So how is it going to work? I'm writing about, by the way, my book, I wrote a whole book about the subject, and what I'm giving you now, it's just a teeny bit of the picture. But let's go back to Menachem Begin, who was the first right-wing leader after in 1977. Since 48, it was only
the so-called Mahapach, the revolution.
Everybody thought things will be different.
Meaning to say the Labour Party controlled Israel since its inception, even before, and then finally, Labour Party's thrown off, the Likud wins, Menachem Begin, who is the longest-serving opposition leader in the so-called Western world, right? He's sat in opposition for a long time, becomes prime minister, and here's the first right-wing prime minister of Israel. Yes. He's pro-Sephardi, he's pro-Torah and commandments, he's got a heart for these things. He's not necessarily religious, but he's got a heart for these things. You know, he
definitely had a good heart. He was a good Jew.
Right.
Okay? I think it was traditional also.
Right.
He would never eat treif. He would never be Mechal Shabbos publicly or something like that.
He kept the Sabbath publicly, right?
Yeah. And then Saadat, the leader of Egypt, comes. And instead of coming with a knife,
he came with peace.
He came with a handshake.
Right.
He just wanted Sinai.
Right.
And that challenge, Menachem Begin was not ready for, because that civilian Zionism was based on survival. I'm not coming here to destroy you, I'm coming to make peace with you. I just want the land. Could Menachem Begin tell Saadat in 1977
to take a hike?
That it doesn't mean, he doesn't care if he comes with a knife or with a handshake, we're gonna fight and no matter what, until the last grain of the holy Sinai, because it was given for us from God? Could he say that? The answer is no. He did not have the foundation of that conscience. So what I'm trying to say...
But just let me ask you a little question about that. But couldn't he have said, we need it for our defense? We need it for our defense. Like,
what for? We have peace.
No, but come on, that's not a defensive doctrine.
I don't like the defense. That defense.
I'm saying, couldn't he have even argued that?
This is nonsense.
You know, there's these two little islands, the Tehran island.
We have technology, and we have the Americans that will protect us.
Right.
And they promised us, the Americans, that they will do this and they will do that.
All right, so what's your point about Begin?
It's not about Begin. It's the whole leaders of the right wing. Okay, the national camp, the Machaneh Leumi, as they call it. Okay, the Jewish identity, traditional Jews, the right wingers. Okay, never ever had a real ideological alternative to the method, to the concept that the left brought of Am Kechol Amin, nation like all the nation, to rule the country. Look what happened now. I'll jump 30 years later, or even 45 years later, okay? They're attacking us at the 7th of October, and when you see a leftist, you tell him, look what you did with your Oslo process. You brought the PLO from Tunisia, and look what was the result. This horrific results at the 7th of October. Look what you did. So what is he answering you? What does the left answer you? Okay, they tell you, excuse me, in what year your prime minister got into power? 96, right? To my account, you in power
for 30 years.
For about 30 years. Why didn't you throw it to the garbage of history?
Right.
Why did you change? Why did you erase it? You know what the answer is? First of all, he's right. Absolutely right.
Right, sure.
And the answer is because he had no alternative. He cannot say it's mine because I got it from God.
Okay.
That's the bottom line. So you ask me about Netanyahu. He's a good guy. He means well. You cannot, you can get only milk from the cow, not chocolate milk. They don't, oh yeah, maybe I said it the wrong way. That's what the cow can give. It's not. By the way, the Netanyahu, the person, the individual, is an amazing individual.
Right.
I mean, he's the most talented leader of all. I mean, all the other candidates doesn't go any near to his abilities, right? But it doesn't matter if on your ways, your travel.
GPS app.
GPS app, your Waze
navigation app. Yeah.
You can only put. I was saying that in Netanyahu GPS app, Waze. Everybody knows what Waze is.
Yeah,
okay.
They know.
At the place where you should put the address.
Right.
There's a room only for one kind of address. The place where you are right now.
Uh-huh.
Okay? So he has a tremendous app, the best one, that can take you around and up and down and shortcuts and back and but only if it brings you right back to where you are now, okay? Mm-hmm. The only thing that Netanyahu had in his mind, and I'm telling you it, what I'm telling you is from knowing him from when... Certainly, okay. The only thing that Netanyahu had in his mind at the 7th of October is how to go back to the 6th of October.
Right.
Not how to take this terrible opportunity to a different place, but how to go back to where we were before. Into the Oslo borders, into the Oslo conscience that the left created.
All right. So now, what should be done with Gaza?
I'll say it in Hebrew again, as I said almost 2 years ago.
Okay.
Kibush, Girush, Iteshvut.
Okay, kibush, which means capturing it. Girush, eviction or evacuation.
That's right.
And Iteshvut is settlement.
That's right.
Okay. Does that mean all Arabs have to go?
Yes.
Why? Are there no non-jihad Arabs?
No. This Islamo-Nazi culture that was developed there, since we, with our own hand, created this terror state over there, is not reversible. Mm-hmm. They lost any doubt, any bit of claim of right to stay on our Holy Land at the 7th of October. Mm-hmm. They should be very, very happy that we're willing to let them go alive.
Okay, those are strong words.
No, it's weak actually.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because we are good Jews with mercy and so on.
Right. Okay.
What we should really do there is what the British people did in Dresden and Hamburg, and what the American people did in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Morally, this is what we should do.
Right.
Technically, the bottom line is
refugees.
They should not be there. And just yesterday, the French
announced that they would take in refugees. Honestly,
Scotland.
Where's the boat? Why does Israel bring some of our boats?
Because of us.
Manosapanut.
Because of us. Because of the Shabak, our GSS. The GSS. Because our leaders' mentality. We want them there. Right. We want them to remain there. It's
there must be some kind of Freudian term for wanting, or like some kind of German term for wanting to keep your enemies alive.
Exactly.
There must be some word for that.
Well, there's a story in the Bibles as well.
There are stories.
It's a very old disease.
All right. Let me keep going. Yeah. Let me ask another question. The Druze. Yeah. What should be done?
They are our allies. Once you promise to protect them, you have to do it. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it.
Should they establish a Druze state in Syria?
A Druze autonomy.
Okay.
Help them protect themselves, supply them with weapon and everything. Of course, you have to control it.
Right.
So they won't one day
turn on you.
Turn on you. Mm-hmm. And you should dominate the place. And those that you cannot have Muslim allies. Just as you cannot have
the Kurds can't be allies.
Muslim Arabs cannot be your allies. Never.
Sufis?
No. I'm sorry. I lost my
You lost the faith?
I lost my faith in this combination of Arab Muslims at the 7th of October. Okay, we saw it, we understood it. Thank you very much. I don't want peace with you. I don't want to see you. I don't want to smell you. I don't want to hear the mosques. I think Islam altogether should be outlawed in Israel. Okay? Just as it is almost like that in Japan, in Switzerland, in many other places in the Western world that had a little tiny bit of
Seichel.
of the understanding. You're dealing here with an ideology that is worse than Nazism. Okay, they were very, very proud with what they did in the 7th of October.
Oh, that has been shown. That has been shown. There's countless videos of Arabs being interviewed saying we're very proud of the 7th of October, very proud of Hamas.
We're talking about they're published. The Nazis tried to hide what they did. The Muslims did it religiously, and told everybody, showed everybody.
Okay, but there is also today the UAE. There is Bahrain. There's maybe a new spirit.
I don't trust them one bit
because they have a different ideology.
I don't care.
Okay,
it'll take a few generations. Okay,
fine.
Prove yourself. I don't trust you. You have to prove yourself.
All
okay,
right. We understood.
I did not hear one real serious condemn from all these communities.
That's right.
Okay,
that's right. Let's put it this way: my next door neighbor communities or next door around here. There's many Arabs that want to work in our towns, and I said to Arabs, I said to them, apologize, say you stand against it, put the flag up. I want your muhtar, your head of your clan, to come to our town and say, we love Israel, we support you, we want to work here in peace. That has not happened. Nothing like that has happened. But they counter, by the way, Moshe, they counter and they say, your PA rules us, and if we said anything like that, they would cream us. Okay?
That's right. We created it, but it's
not enough.
It's a code. It's a death code.
All right, I want to go on. I want to ask about, and again, keep it short, please. Right now, as we're recording this, the government is teetering. It's on a brink. Shas has partially pulled out of the coalition, but they're not in opposition. That's a total Israeli game. But the bottom line is...
Yeah, it's a Jewish land.
That's right.
Jewish
but the bottom line is, what do they want? They want exemption from going to the army. What's your solution? Let's keep it short. For what do you say now to Shas? What do you say to the ultra-Orthodox parties? What's the solution for this quandary that we have? I mean, we have many problems, and right now the government's falling on the issue of who will go to the army or not. It's like weird. But what's the solution? Oh, I remember what you think. Okay, let's hear it.
Well, first of all, the concept of the idea that people should not, that there are people that can stay out of the game, not sacrifice or risk their lives just because they grew up in a different community is immoral concept. Okay. Forget about the story. Most of the Haredim are not learning all day. Right?
The ultra-Orthodox. They're not learning Torah
because
all day.
a normal person cannot sit 14, 16 hours a day and learn. It's not how it works. Only very minimal people can do it. So most of them are not fulfilling this category of Torato Umnuto.
That his Torah is his job, is his work. Yeah.
And yet they're not going to the army, and this is an immoral situation.
Okay.
So the solution should be that the whole way Israel is taking its new generation to the army, the young fellows to the army, should be based on the Swiss concept.
Okay.
Which is everybody go to the army for a short period of time, not more than half a year. Okay, it can be divided for 3 periods, so yeshiva bochers can learn in Ben Azmanim.
In the breaks of the Torah learning period.
Learning, and then when they finish for this basic training,
right?
When they finish, they go home with their guns and ammunition. And you can also supply them with a safe. You go home, and you know what to do in a terror attack, how to protect your region where you live, who's your commander, from which window you should watch if something happens, who to call. Okay. Just imagine,
like a defensive doctrine.
If you had this kind of concept at the 7th of October, and from every window in Kibbutz Be'eri and Netiva Asara and Kfar Aza,
and the envelope of Gaza,
they would have their guns, right, and they'll know what to do. Right. Everything would have looked different, right? So they go home. Now, those who want to continue to a longer and much more serious service can volunteer. And if the army needs and see that they feel the needs, they take them. They give him the best weapons. They give him the best
conditions, the best conditions, the best
academy learning, and good salary.
So what you call a professional army?
Professional army, but just like that we do it today with the pilots or with Mishmar Gvir. Now today,
with the border patrol.
Today, and now you have to understand, in Israel, the defense forces are like it's like the bar mitzvah. When an 18-year-old guy goes to the army, it's like having another bar mitzvah. It's part of our identity.
Sure.
On every place in the Golani Brigade or in a parachute, in Tzadchanim, between I think 3 and 5 candidates. Don't worry. And now with it, you get.
What you're trying to say is that
you'll have enough. You'll have enough.
There's not going to be lack. Okay.
Now, when there's a real war, when the Knesset declare war and you need more soldiers, you call all these guys that left after half a year back to the army to do miluim and take position, and you can even train them more while they're waiting and so on. So, in this concept, the Charedim can find their place, and we'll have one less thing to fight about.
Okay, fine. My final question to you today. We talked about. I asked who Netanyahu was, but you gave me a broader thing. I asked you about October the 7th. I asked you about the Druze. I asked you about the ultra-Orthodox, which are issues that we're dealing with right now. We also talked about Trump. My final question goes back to how you answered the first question. And, this is a question that you don't hear so much on Channel 14, the Patriot team. You don't hear it so much, but it's a simple question. What does God want from us? What does God want from us right now? Where are we in God's eyes? Do we look good in God's eyes, do you think? What does he want from us? Right? Like, what does God want from you right now?
Look, we had a deal on Mount Sinai, and later on, when we came to Eretz Israel in Shechem, in Har Eival, and Har Gerizim, we have a covenant with God. We are his nation. We are his people. We represent God's existence in the world, and we should do certain thing according to that agreement. Okay, we should take over the land. We should build a temple, rebuild the temple. We should create a society that projects the light of God to the entire world. And when we are being a bit lazy, we get the kick. But he's doing his share.
Oh yeah.
We always exist. We came back to our land just as he promised. As much as we kick the barrel,
kick the can
of the milk, keeps on filling it. It's amazing.
Kicked over the bucket, yeah.
Kick over the bucket.
Yeah.
God keeps on filling it.
Yeah.
I believe that there are more cranes, building cranes.
Yeah.
In square mile in Israel than anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
An apartment in Tel Aviv costs much more than Manhattan today, right?
Yeah.
The shekel is the strongest currency. The Jewish family, including the non-religious, is having more kids than any other nation in the world, including the Arabs, here in Israel and out. I mean, when you God is doing his share. But and as long as we will get into our position, our position, it'll be easier, faster, nicer, happier, and we'll save ourselves lots of pain. I'm very optimistic.
I see that.
I'm very optimistic. I'm aware of the problems. As you know me, I'm fighting. I'm going to run to the Knesset. I'm going to keep on doing whatever I can in order to bring the truth and in order to channel the nation of Israel towards the right direction of real victory, of doing what we should, fixing the world in the kingdom of God. This is the mission of the Jewish nation, not just survival. For that.
Yeah, that
is boring.
Right.
This is not who we are.
Moshe Feiglin is one of Israel's leading intellectuals on the nationalist spectrum, and everybody agrees to that. He led an activist movement against the Oslo process, which was called...
Hey, we forgot about the book.
That's right. There's a new book. That's right. I was just about to say.
Okay.
Your new book, which is right now only in Hebrew, but it's coming out soon in English.
It's fully translated already. It's going to be on
Amazon, all that.
And everywhere.
Now the name is the Adam Mechapez Zehut, the human who is looking for identity, and the picture is of a family underneath a kind of shade tree, and they're walking towards a temple in Jerusalem.
You can translate the
I'll show
subtitle. Is
no problem. Shivat HaEnoshut, the return of humanity, as El HaZehut, to identity, V'Achirut, and to liberty. The idea that Israel is conveying to the world, which is liberty.
That's right. Liberty and identity, the connection between liberty and identity.
And this book is actually about the disease of progressivism,
right?
That's out there destroying.
I wrote this book in memory of my grandson Yair, who was killed in the war. That's the picture of him. By the way,
let's see it here. Let's just show a picture. Let's just show it. So your grandson Yair was killed in this war.
Yeah. And
here he is standing in the overlook.
He's in Gaza here.
In Gaza. Yair Levin. Hashem Yikon Dano, may God avenge his blood. Yeah. Bnam Shel Yochai Ubiti Naama.
My daughter Naama, right? But read the last sentence.
Shechiref nafsho, who sacrificed his soul, his body. Ube'et ktivat in wartime, it means heroism and self-sacrifice. Ube'et ktivat sefer zeh, histaer al oivei amo. And during the writing of this book, he ran towards the enemies of his nation. Kshe'yadav kvulot b'shalshalot ha'progress. While his hands were bound by progressive ideas, meaning so he was not able to fight the war with his hands. They were tied behind his back, but he, at the same time, ran towards his enemies to fight the enemies of the Jewish people. Moshe Feiglin, I want to thank you so much for letting me be at your house. I also ate a great cheesecake here beforehand, so I want to thank you very much, and I had some very strong coffee. So God bless you. Keep up the good work. Good luck in the Knesset run, of course.
Drive carefully home.
That's right.
A long ride home.
I have a long ride home. I want to thank you for being with us in this very important discussion, and bless you from the land of blessings. Don't forget to check out all of our content at YishaiFleisher.com. Support us through buymeacoffee.com/Yishai, and also fightforisrael.org. Fight for the number 4 Israel.org. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, become a member, check out our YouTube store, and be part of the story of Israel wherever you are. God bless you, wherever you are. Lots of love, lots of blessings from the land of blessings, and shalom.